Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
A huge upset for a 10-term Democrat in yesterday's primaries. I'm Laura Podesta with more on that and how candidates backed by President Trump fared.
I'm Emma Hamilton in Bozeman, and coming up, I'll tell you about a pretty interesting industry that needs more and more workers.
Good morning to you. I'm Missy O'Malley. Matt Elwell will have our forecast in just a moment. Our top story for you now. 7 states held primary elections yesterday, and it was a good day for seasoned political veterans. That is except for one New York congressional district where a top Democrat suffered a major defeat. CBS's Laura Podesta has our details.
In an upset that could send ripples throughout the Democratic Party, 28-year-old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat 10-term New York Congressman Joseph Crowley. The political newcomer has been a darling of the progressive wing.
Talking to your neighbor, authentic grassroots organizing, and taking the stand of rejecting corporate money is a viable position in American politics.
Crowley is the first congressional leader to lose a primary since Republican Eric Cantor in 2014. President Trump avoided embarrassment in South Carolina. Incumbent Governor Henry McMaster won the GOP primary one day after the president held a rally in support of him.
Our team, ladies and gentlemen, right now extends from the White House to the State House to your house.
In Utah, former presidential candidate Mitt Romney won the Republican primary to replace retiring Senator Orrin Hatch.
He's fought conservative battles time and time again. We're going to miss him. I'm going to do my best to keep those battles and those fights going forward.
And in Maryland, former NAACP President Ben Jealous won the Democratic nomination for governor. He's hoping to become the state's first African-American governor. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Also in Maryland, Chelsea Manning lost to Democratic Senator Bear Cardin. Cardin beat Manning and 6 others as he looks to win a 3rd term. Maryland State Board of Elections had a computer problem, though, contacting as many as 80,000 voters whose registration information has not been updated. Voters affected by the problem filled out provisional ballots, which will not be counted until July 5th. More to follow on those elections.
Yep.
Matt, I'm really excited about your forecasts.
Good, I'm
Yay.
glad you are.
Yay.
Yeah. Temperatures today are going to be fantastic. Tomorrow we get a little iffy. Friday's going to be downright chilly.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Temperatures for the morning right now into the 30s and 40s. It is crisp to stand outdoors today, mainly because we have clear skies. Temperatures are going to warm up right around the 80-degree mark. The wind does pick up this afternoon, especially as you head into the middle part of the afternoon, early part of the evening. These temperatures topping out into the 80s today. Coming up in our main weather, we're going to take a look at our summer outlook. A little cooler this week, and we'll also take a look at the early week forecast heading into next week. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. It's now 6:32. Our top local story for you. A small wildfire ignited near the Cascade, Lewis and Clark County line yesterday. Firefighters from the DNRC and Wolf Creek responded to the 8 to 10 acre fire in that area of Dearborn Ranch. Butch Knoll with the Montana DNRC says that the fire was burning in timber but showing minimal activity. Helicopter was used to assist with firefighting efforts. No ignition source has been found, but Knoll says fighting from recent storms are suspected of the starting of that fire. And one woman from Ronan is dead after a possible hit-and-run incident in the Mission Valley. 24-year-old Cassandra Harris died from injuries she sustained in the incident near McDonald Lake, north of St. Ignatius. This all happened Saturday morning. 4 people have been arrested in connection with her death. 18-year-old Julia Valley of Browning, 19-year-old Gail Hendricks of Pablo, and 22-year-old Joseph Perazzo Jr. have all been charged with negligent homicide. An 18-year-old Donovan Sherwood from Arlee is charged with obstructing justice. Valley and Hendricks were released from jail following a court hearing on Monday. Sherwood and Perazzo remain in custody. The investigation into the death is still underway, and no further information has been released at this time. And the Montana Highway Patrol reports one person was killed in a rollover crash on Monday night in Hill County. It happened on Beaver Creek Road near Mooney Coulee Road. Montana Highway Patrol says the driver failed to make a curve, causing the vehicle to go off the road, hit a tree, and then roll several times. 2 other people were taken to a hospital in Havre for their injuries. 1 person refused medical treatment and remained at the scene. Officials say speed and alcohol were factors in the crash, and seatbelts were not used. The name of the person that died has not been yet released. And supporters of Initiative 186 used a boat to deliver copies of their signatures to the state capitol. The supporters say they've gathered 45,000 signatures. Around 25,000 are required to get on the measure on the ballot. If passed in November, I-186 would require the Department of Environmental Quality to deny a permit for any new hard rock mine unless companies can prove that they will not require perpetual treatment of polluted water. Speakers at the event said they want more accountability when it comes to mining.
I think, based on previous mining history and kind of corporate responsibility, a lot of people are justifiably concerned.
Now, opponents of the initiative say that it's unnecessary and it only exists to tie up the mining industry in endless litigation. They claim if the initiative passes, it could either deter potential investment in any new mining operation. And manufacturing companies across the state are experiencing drastic worker shortages recently. MTN's Emma Hamilton has our story.
This year, the percent of manufacturers across the state that reported shortage of workers doubled since last year.
And with plenty of work happening here in the manufacturing industry, they need more and more workers continually.
So manufacturing, of course, is facing pretty intense workforce shortages, partially due to baby boomers retiring. So we're seeing a lot of people exiting the workforce, especially in manufacturing, and we don't have skilled labor to back them up to fill those gaps. So
Dixon Foley would know. She's in the industry herself and sees the challenges of having these shortages. Wes says the shortage may relate to false perceptions of the industry.
Manufacturing in the 30s and 40s was dirty, it was hot, it was sweaty, it was really hard work, it could be dangerous, and I think people kind of have a tendency to think about those times, and people wanted to get away from that. It's definitely not that way for, I would say, the vast majority of manufacturers here in Montana. It's really interesting work.
And as Dixon Foley helps to operate the dog toy manufacturing company, West Paw, here in Bozeman, she agrees it's interesting work that sometimes isn't always known about.
we have to pull in workforce that may not know about us and may not really understand what manufacturing is about. So our challenges are to educate the public and our community about what our work really looks like.
West Paw and other manufacturing companies are a part of the Greater Gallatin Valley Manufacturing Partnership. They go into high schools and other institutions to educate younger generations and excite them about the industry. In Bozeman, Emma Hamilton, MTN News.
Now, Emma also adds, industry officials say that they hope Montana's high school and college graduates will consider manufacturing as a career. In other news, on your Wednesday morning, Montana State University has been ranked #1 for employability after graduation for universities in the state of Montana. Now, Zippia gave them this ranking, which is an employment guidance website. 90% of MSU grads are able to secure jobs. The university is very proud of this ranking.
We always want to think that students will come to a university that will help them succeed in life. And that's really the purpose of getting a university education, is to find that success later on in life. And one of those measures is finding a good job. And so anything that we can do to help our students is a job well done.
Now, Becker says the university believes this ranking was made possible by the several resources they have on campus to ensure student success. And wildlife officials say a grizzly bear cub has been hit and killed by a vehicle near Valier. Now, the cub was hit around 11:30 Sunday night on Montana 44 west of town. No other bears were found at the accident that night, but a sow with 3 cubs had been seen a few days earlier feeding on an old grain north of the highway. Now, Fish, Wildlife, and Parks had planned to clean up that grain, but they were unable to get to it due to higher priority issues. At least 2 other grizzlies have been hit in this year alone by vehicles in northern Continental Divide area. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks says drivers should be particularly careful about driving around from dusk till dawn, and also be careful near rivers and creeks. And then a little bit of happier animal news. A wandering moose caused some drivers to pause as the big creature was seen near Grizzly Grocery in Missoula on Tuesday night. Now, this picture was sent to us by David Noggle, who took it from across the parking lot. He was near the street near the store of Higgins and Beckwith in Missoula. Now, there was an earlier moose sighting not far from where there was a couple of weeks ago, early in the morning when a moose was galloping down Brook Street in Missoula. It is time for a quick break. Here's a little sneak peek of what's coming up on Montana This Morning.
New research is out on just how distracting your car's infotainment system can be. I'm Kenneth Craig with a look at which ones are the safest.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, the Trump administration has up to 30 days to reunite separated immigrant families. We'll hear from the Border Patrol chief who believes the separations may have worked. And my conversation with a former employee of Cambridge Analytica. Hear what she calls questionable practices they use to gain access to millions of Facebook users' information. See you at 7.